Hey everyone! If you are new here, welcome and thank you for clicking this video. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back fam! In today's video, I will be deep cleaning my refrigerator, freezer, and deep freezer in a very practical way. This was a spontaneous clean, so there will be no freezer bins used to organize the groceries, but it is still motivational nonetheless. On this channel, you will find organization, cleaning, and occasional decor videos. So if this interests you, please consider subscribing so you never miss a video. Let's get into it. So a quick background story. I actually was not planning to organize all of this particular evening. At the time of me filming this, I had actually just gotten over the flu. So my energy level was a little low and my main focus was on sanitizing the house. My husband had called to tell me that he felt the freezer wasn't freezing the foods as well, so I only went to move a few items over to our deep freezer. But y'all, when I saw this catastrophe, I started itching to not just move the few little things, but to actually go on and clean it up. Alright, so we have organized out the freezer and it looks gross. What we're gonna have to do is organize all of this and figure out what needs to go out and what does not. A lot of this stuff we had kind of already done that. It's just not organized to where I can see what I have. So I'm going to start putting some things in the deep freezer, and the main things that I will be keeping in here are gonna be things that I use on a daily or a weekly basis. If it's something I'm not really sure yet, those will go in the deep freezer, and I'll just have to make sure monthly I go and I check in there. But if it's something I'm going to use, I plan to use through the week, then that's what will go in here so that I can easily see what's going on. Oh yeah, that's ice cream. So kind of want some ice cream melted one day because the freezer wasn't freezing well. And then yeah, that's cookies and cream ice cream. Naturally, at this point, I was checking dates and tossing things that were expired, and then I was sorting all the groceries in piles and telling my little helpers to put the categories in the deep freezer so they would stay cold as I cleaned my regular freezer. So at this point, I started disinfecting since all of the groceries were out of the freezer. I was just using some disinfectant wipes, and I'm using that to just kind of wipe down some of the shelves. It's so crazy how you really don't even realize that all of that gets in the freezer. You know, you think that when you put the things, whatever the groceries are, when you put them in the freezer, it just freezes. So the most you would see is water, but actually this was one of the most beastly projects ever. Now, not ever, but it was worse than the refrigerator. It just really is a good idea to clean out your deep freezer or your freezer once every 2 to 3 months. As you can see here, this is a sticky substance that at the time we could not figure out what in the world this was. I started playing a game with the girls like, guess the substance, guess the sticky substance. We just didn't know. We eventually figured out what it was. I'll reveal that a little bit later in the video, but this was one of the hardest stains to clean. I got out what I could, but it got to the point, as you can see here, where I literally had to just start using a knife to just scrape whatever it was. And this is when I was starting to realize what the substance was. It didn't make it any better that one of my daughters was just really over there talking so much noise about what this stain was. After much fighting and putting a knife into the sticky substance in the back, which happened to be ice cream
and spinach.
Yeah, ice cream and spinach from smoothies. But anyway, I finally managed to get it cleaned. So now it's time to get this food organized and put back inside before it goes bad, and then that's like so pointless. Yay. All right, let's work. Looking like a gift for me, wrapped up nice and neat, baby. There were so many different bags of frozen waffles, so I was like, well, instead of having them in 3 different bags, it makes more sense to just store them all in one bag. So I took a gallon-sized freezer bag so that I would be able to see what was in the bag. My children need visuals, so they need to be able to easily see what's for breakfast. Okay, and on my Instagram, I actually put up a post recently, so if you are not following me on Instagram, please follow me at cleanitwithrona. But I did put up a post that just kind of detailed how important it is to wipe off the handles of your appliances. So that was what I was just doing not too long ago, wiping down the handles of everything. How you can catch my vibe and right away got so much time. So at this point, I moved to the snack drawer and I started just pulling things out of there. I had actually just cleaned that pretty well a few days before, so I didn't really do as deep of a clean and it just wasn't as messy. So I'm just kind of organizing by product. This is the drawer where I typically keep all of the cheeses, all of the lunch meat, and all of the produce. But as you can see, some of the cheese was molded. Horrible. Get on my list of the things I love. You could be the one I trust. All the second chances sound nothing for us. I like it all with the cherry on top. Be one of the things I love. The things I love. The things I love. The things I love. Love. The things I love. The things I love. Be one of the things I love. The things I love. The things I love. The things I love. Love. The things I love. The things I love. So here I am checking expiration dates. I'm tossing things that we just won't eat and just organizing the refrigerator in general. So at this point, I'm really just trying to organize these waters and make them look really pretty, like on MTV Cribs. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here. All right, so far I have my chicken fajitas here. I'm sorry, chicken nuggets and chicken fajitas. And then here I have my fish, tilapia. So this is kind of like my quick food. That's like my tilapias, my fish, tilapia. This here is, what is this? catfish. I switched it out of the original bag that it was in so that I could see what's in there easier. And this is salmon, and then this here is like my either grass-fed beef or turkey here. This is the chicken section here, like the chicken, you know, that I would bake in the oven. And these are my vegetables back here. And then here's really not much anymore, but this would be kind of like for if they like those little popsicles and things. And then this here would be like, I froze vegetables because I had gotten sick, and I had just bought the vegetables and I didn't want them to go bad. So I'm gonna be pulling these out, using these for certain dishes. This here is like potatoes, hash browns, things like that, waffles, breakfast foods, pancakes on a stick. I plan on adding more as needed, but these are things we would use through the week. All right, so the refrigerator is done, and now it is time to move on to the deep freezer. So with this was another added on spontaneous project. This was the next morning. While my girls were getting ready for homeschool, I said, you know what? I can come knock this freezer out like really fast. So I just came in here and got to work. This is where I store a lot of the ingredients that I use for smoothies. You'll see me taking the ice creams out of the original bags just because it looks neater. It's just a neater way to organize. So as I'm doing this, I can definitely see how freezer containers, or the little clear storage containers, are definitely going to be useful for this space. That's not what I wanted to do for this video because this was very quick, but that is something I definitely plan to do in the future. So please, again, subscribe and stay tuned. Well, my friends, that is the end of this video. I hope that this gave you motivation to get some spring cleaning done. This was quite a task, but I am glad that I did it. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.